Previously on Tale of the Shorn.
Hi, I'm Ivan and welcome back to Dragon Dreams. Today I'm going to teach you how to make opening credits for your campaign. So this is a great way of kicking off a new session. What I'll do is I'll make a video that basically has each of the players and the PCs they're playing coming up like credits in a movie or a TV show. And then I will have sometimes I'll put this thing called a previously on before then, just like in opening credits where it says previously on. And I'll just remind them what's going on in the campaign. So this is a really great way to introduce new players, first of all, who are just joining your table, to remind old players which game this is, because let's face it, they're probably playing more than one game, and maybe mention a few things they might have forgotten that might be important in their quest. And it's really great for doing like a little fact drop, okay, about your setting, because nobody really wants a professor to stand up in front of them with a blackboard and pontificate on what is going on in the setting. What they want is just some little information, just a little boop. So, like the Church of Keramikis 100 years ago sent their clerics against this dragon. And that clues people in that there's this religion called the Church of Keramikis. It sounds like it's good because they're going up against the bad guys, and that kind of gives them this little thing. So, let's get started.
Out with a bunch of images that I want to use. I'll have maps like this one of stuff from the setting, stuff from the modules, things like the module covers, even screenshots of Roll20. So you can see like here, there's like a map with the Fog of War over it. And then what I'll do is I will make a recording in like QuickTime or something like that, and I will just do an audio recording of a pre-scripted previously on. So I'll actually write this out into a Word document first, print it out, and actually read it or paraphrase it so that I want to get it to be as concise as possible. They usually end up being about 7 minutes, which is obviously longer than a real TV show is previously on. But they have a lot to say usually, and a lot of things I want to cover. So that tends to be about the right amount of time, particularly if I do a dramatic reading. So I'll try to make it as dramatic as possible, but for more drama, I put in Neptune from Holst's Planets, because that's public domain, so I can use it royalty free, and it's really mysterious music, so it has the right tone. You'll notice here that my volume is 4% for Neptune and 100% for my audio recording, which is this Beckby previously on. And then what I can do is I can put down the graphics that go in the certain time signatures, so that like in this first segment, I'm probably talking about something about the world. So I put the world map up, and I notice that I'm zooming in on the place where it's taking place. Right. And then this one is like inside of Grand Duchy of Keramikis, and I'm zooming in on the section that it's in, and so forth. Okay, and I'm going to talk about how I do those zooms in a second, but the point is that I have, some maps. You'll see at one point I have the adventure cover that kind of moves to a tower. More maps. This time you'll see that I'm kind of scrolling along and zooming out on an actual Roll20 game, so that there's this sense of actually playing the game. I have an actual in-game letter that was a handout that I have here. Various different graphics. This ought to be a familiar map to a lot of people, and whatnot. And so you'll see that that basically the pictures kind of tell the story of the previously on, but they don't have to be perfect. So then what I do is you'll notice that I have like all these zooms and everything. So the way that works is I go to crop, and I will just go to Kevin Burns, and you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a start and an end. Okay, and so in this case I'm doing a zoom, so the start is the whole thing and the end is the place it's zooming in on. Here I can have it be, going from kind of diagonally across the page. Here, one thing I kind of was proud of is that I start zoomed in on the entrance to the dungeon and then go up the map while simultaneously expanding. So there's a sense of simultaneously moving into the dungeon and also having the dungeon be bigger and bigger and bigger as like there's more and more passages going off in all sorts of different directions. So there's a sense of adventure going into it. So basically with these start and end things, you can do these zooms and pans that I think make any of these static images a lot more interesting to look at. And then the final piece, which I'm going to get to in a second, is just the actual opening credits part, which is a separate video because I want to be able to separate the two of them, and so that sometimes I'm going to do the previously on followed by the opening credits. But if I don't have a previously on, which I don't have every week, because it's just be too time consuming for one thing, and also I don't think the players necessarily want that every time. Maybe between adventures or something is the most appropriate time to add a new one. So I just can put that on there. Actual opening credits one, because that's a little bit different. So I do that as a separate project in iMovie, and that way I'll separate them out. But there's also some features of what I do here that's a little bit different. So you'll notice that there are these things will be like there's the title, and then it comes along and it shows you the map, and then superimposed on that it puts starring, and you notice it blurs the background. And so I have all these credits, right? Pine the Halfling, and so forth. These are real characters in my actual Beckme game. And the way I do that is you can just take this titles thing, and it's called pull focus. And so you just drop that down, and you'll notice that what it does is it gives you a title and a subtitle. So you could be like, dead guy shot. This guy's creepy or something, right? And then, it would come and you'd have like this guy, and this little thing would pop over it saying that, right? I don't think it actually, let's see, I think it actually doesn't have that rectangle. I think that's just because I had that thing selected. But you can see it kind of materializes there. So, and then you can make it shorter or whatever to fit into the section of the video you want it to overlay and so forth. I'm going to delete this because I don't actually want that there, but you get the idea. And so the important things with this is that once again, I mean, I'm zooming and scrolling and panning and things like that using that Ken Burns cropping. But I'm also overlaying things sort of opening credit style. So I have, the name of the campaign, and then I have myself credited as the DM, and I have, starring, and then I have, each of the player characters. And so it has the effect of, while it's showing you kind of scenes from the campaign, kind of in roughly chronological order, or giving you an impression of that chronological order, it also is throwing up the credits, right? And then I follow up, of course, with the creepy dead guy at the end. And, I put dramatic music on it, so that's where it has that epic dramatic music. And this one is called The Dark is Rising, and I'm going to put a credit to that in the description because I think, the author really needs credit for it. It's a really cool bit. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, it's basically just kind of like a TV opening credit, but I feel like it's kind of a cool way to get people enthused and psyched up. I mean, and it also kind of is a reward for your players, kind of like a thank you to your players in a way, because I think that's kind of cool if you're a player to just have like this awesome thing where it's like, it's like, this is my character and it's played by me, and like it kind of makes you feel like a star, and and I think it kind of like gets you into the mood. Like if you're a player, it's kind of gets you into the mood to sort of be a star, like to kind of like put you in that sort of cinematic mindset. So, and it's really fun. I mean, everybody likes it. They just think it's just cool, and I think you're going to impress your table too.
I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please tell me in the comments if you try this and tell me how it works for you. Tell me whether you think this is an interesting idea or whether you've tried it yourself already and you've already do something like this, or how do you do something similar. All right, until next time, keep dreaming, everybody.